It's cool. We get to really hear the room in when she goes big. You can really hear the reverberance of the space they're in.
Sound check.
G'day and welcome back to another vocal analysis here at Voice Essentials. My name is Dr. Dan and today we are, once again, because we do listen to her a lot, in part because I love her, we're listening to Floor Jansen. And this is, I've not reviewed a performance by Floor in this kind of context. This is a very acoustic set, just her and a guitar being played by, pretty sure it's Troy. And this is How's the Heart. It's a Planet Rock recording performance. And it is kind of live and raw, single take. We're so used to, certainly I am very used to reviewing Floor in the big concert setting, stadium / auditorium venues. This is 2020, so this is, I dare say this is recorded during the pandemic at a time when we were all, locked up in our homes. And so we have this opportunity to hear this really pared back acoustic performance. Let's dive in and thoroughly enjoy Floor's voice and her expressive nature. One can always fall into the trap of thinking, oh yeah, the singer just sounds good because they're on this massive stage with all the lights, big sound, massive production. And then, they prove themselves further by doing something like this.
How's the heart while it still beats? Asks and no one, another John Doe. Sorrow hides well in your shell, a fellow man with her to spare. Here I am to share the fear, an act of kindness without a name. And how's the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us out to human pain. Come in, the fire's warm, burn the rope and add some more.
It's a beautiful, almost sort of like, I don't know, how do we class it? It's very folky, isn't it? And is it Celtic? Is it Nordic? How would you, what nationality would you put over that sort of cultural folky sound? The really interesting thing here is by virtue of the setup where they're recording everything in a single take in a single room, so you can't go in and correct the vocal the vocal pitching, because in doing so, if you were to do that, you're going to change the pitch, just very slightly, of the bleed of the guitar that's coming into the vocal mic. And I'll show you. We'll go back and just have a listen. There is a section where I think I can show you where there is the pitch is not perfect, but maybe you're a bit tired of hearing me say this as well. Imperfect pitch is where it's at, people. We want the authenticity of that. Yes, there is a place for correcting pitch. I've done it in my own recordings. So I'm not, a complete adversary against pitch correction. But I do love it when, you know, big artists, and Floor is a big artist, is brave enough, authentic enough to give us a performance that is completely untouched in that regard. I'll show you, there is a point where I want to show you what that might look like in Melodyne. Beautiful guitar playing. And they've mic'd that guitar beautifully.
We see a mother with no child. We meet a stranger, poor exiled. How's the heart while it still beats? Asks and no one, another John Doe. Sorrow hides well in your shell. A fellow man with her to spare. Here I am to share the...
So that section there, let's bring it back to, what is it, around about 50 seconds in. So let's have a listen to it from here. And I want you to just have a look at on screen what we're seeing with the pitch accuracy.
Share the fear, an act of kindness, without a name and...
So you can see that these pitch points through here, so that one's, is it sharp?
Kindness.
Yeah, it was. So this is where the note is. So it's a bit sharp.
Without a name.
This one here too. And we all know that this is a very crude way to use Melodyne to shape vowels. But let me just chain this one here, and let's have a listen to this. And I'll just for the fun of it, we're going to correct these very crudely. This is not how you would normally use Melodyne to correct a pitch.
An act of kindness, without a name and how's the heart?
So that's with it bang on, right? Let's take it all back.
Kindness, without a name and how's the heart?
So you can hear just that slight variance in the pitch. I think I prefer it untuned anyway, personally. You know, yes, you can, you know, click everything to dead center of pitch, but I don't know. For me, it loses something when you do.
The fear, an act of kindness, without a name and how's the heart? Underneath the silence, how's the one? Drowning in the mire, let us sound to human pain. Come in, the fire's warm, burn the rope and add some more.
Pretty.
We met where the cliff greets the sea. Shared a story, took the lead. Rose uprooted, hidden out. You know where you've been there. Now there's one who came from me.
I'm just loving the placement of the tone. So sometimes we can talk about placement in regards to where the voice sits, but also we can talk about placement in a sense of the consistency of the tonal shape. And that's the manner in which I'm talking about the placement of her tone in this. It's almost like she's chosen a very particular place for this to sit tonally, and she's just and it colors the voice in a manner that really is suited to this piece. I've listened to enough of Floor now to know the variety of tonal choices that she has, And that then leads me to think that her choices here are purposeful. There's a reason she's doing that. And I want to suggest that it's because of the genre and the manner in which she wants the narrative to be communicated.
A child of light, another tale, dear one. Night will come, but not to stay. Oh, why? The answer's in the house, the heart. Underneath the silence, house, the one. Drowning in the mire, not a sound. Human pain.
I want to point out the manner of her alignment as she's sitting down. I'm often asked, because we're often talking about it's good for singers to practice standing up, and that facilitates our ability to activate our lower support structures, thighs, buttocks, pelvic floor, lower mid-abs, and to activate and manage that. But there are times, case in point, this performance, where the singer needs to be seated. And so I think what we're seeing from Flor is exactly what I have instructed my students to do in the past if they do need to sit. Notice how she's quite upright. She hasn't collapsed into her hips, her pelvic, the pelvic girdle. She's sitting right up without being toy soldiery about it, but she has an alignment to her torso. And also see the way she's kind of got almost like a forward balance into her legs, which are on the ground. When you compare that to our guitarist, he has collapsed in. Not a big deal for him because actually his primary task there is playing guitar. Important for him to be comfortable in his position for playing the guitar. And the vocal line that he's giving is a very low backing, and so not a big deal. But for Flor, with the type of voicing that she's having to do, she needs to have full facility of her breath management system, which is low. We want the diaphragm to be able to descend fully so that she is able to take in quality air and then expel quality breath flow.
Come in, the fire's warm, burn the rope and then some more. Fair winds smile off, fly towards the calm, fly utterly lost towards a beating heart.
You know, once again, we can hear, if we go over to 253, and through this section, we hear that, natural pitching. That note there is not bang on. See how the note sort of, she finds it, she definitely arrives at it, but it takes her some time. But nonetheless, it gives us that insight into, no human is a robot. I've said it before, I'm going to say it a million times more. No human is a robot. Flor is not a robot. She has imperfections in her voice that are wonderful. I think it's wonderful to be humanly imperfect. You might disagree, but that's what I think.
A beating heart. How is the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let a sound, a human pain, come on in. The fire's warm.
We talk about imperfection, and then she goes and does what is bang up on right on the money when it comes to pitch through this, what is a very difficult, very dexterous melodic line.
fire's warm.
I want to have a look at that in Melodyne just to appreciate how bang on that is.
How is the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound a human.
Isn't it interesting? You know, I when I look at it in Melodyne with you now, you can actually see the inaccuracy. But when you listen to it live, it sounds perfect. Isn't that interesting? You know, and I think this is something for us to remember as people who are learning to sing, is that sometimes, you know, when you go and put it into pitch analysis software, it's almost like the pitch analysis software almost lies to us a little bit. And what I mean by that is I'm more given to wanting to trust my ears in what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing than going to a computer analysis and going, oh, that's, you know, that's all in, you know, I'm incorrect there, or the singer's incorrect. But actually it again, it works when it's imperfect. It's so interesting.
The silence, how's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound a human pain. Come on in, the fire's warm.
That sounds great. Just sounds great.
How is the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound a human pain. Come on in, the fire's warm. How's the heart underneath the silence?
Ooh, I love the way she articulated that. You know, sometimes you get to put in these little moments of you can use so many different devices, you know, in points like this. In this moment, she uses her diction, her articulation, to give us just something different, you know. And audiences' ears, you know, in today's age, audiences' ears are very fickle. They tire very quickly. You know, if you haven't grabbed them in the first 5 seconds of a video or a song, then they wander off. But, you know, certainly the further you get into a tune, you want to give the ear continuous, interesting things to listen to. But you want to, I think, in a song like this, you want to do it in a very mature, very subtle way. You don't want to be, you know, macro and gross about it. You want to be, you want to be nuanced, and Floor is being nuanced.
How's the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound human pain. Come on in. How's the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound.
It's cool. We get to really hear the room in when she goes big. You can really hear the reverberance of the space they're in. And notice her backing off. You know, she knows she's going to give the mic some amplitude. And so she just comes back so that she doesn't drive. Almost certainly there is a compressor down the signal chain on the mic that she's using. And so she doesn't want to make it work too hard. And so she just backs off. But in doing so, you get to really hear the space.
How's the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound a human pain. Come in, the fire's warm by the rope and ransom. How's the heart? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound a human pain. Come in, the fire's warm by the rope and ransom.
It's such a cool performance, you know, evidently done, as I said, 2020, probably during COVID. And yeah, cool to see such a pared back acoustic. As I said, that's the first time I've ever heard Flora in that kind of context, and it only heightens my appreciation for her as a wonderful singer. And I hope it does the same for you. If you've clicked on this video, you almost certainly are a person who already fully appreciates her and what she does, but I hope it has done even more so for you now. Hey, if you've got any other recommendations of acoustic value performances of Floor, of Nightwish, just like that one, I'd love to check them out and perhaps do some reviews of them. Yeah, that would be cool if we could do that. I very much look forward to seeing you in the next vocal analysis video. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.